Come on, mate. Demonic influences are real. The Bible says we do not war against flesh and blood, but we war against principalities and powers in the evil realms. The Bible's telling us that there are influences that will come to us to work against us, to bring us down, to thwart us, to harm us. To harm what we do, to harm what we love, to harm what we believe in. These influences jump on the back of our behavior. If our behavior's here, if our behavior's not good, these influences will use that to their advantage. They'll program us and make us attracted to self-destructive behaviors. And I'll mention it again: nicotine, alcohol, drugs, substances, chemicals that we put into ourselves to hasten sex drives and give a sense of euphoria, only to turn into a sense of emptiness that needs to be fulfilled over and over again. It taxes the money, all their money. They start to steal, they'll lie, scheme, anything to protect their habit. This will go on and on and on and on. It's a vicious cycle. It leads to a fast, hasty death. Some people think they can wing it, but it does catch up to them once they get around the 30, 40, 50 mark. After that, it's pretty well downhill from there. They're just gonna go with the motions after that. You'll see most of them hit the grave at around 50, 60. Things go downhill quick, the cancer kicks in, life gets away on them. Nobody cares about them at the end. They become grizzly and grumpy. They hate the world for what it's done to them. They hate the people around them for neglecting them. They realize that they weren't as important as they thought. Their ego deceived them. Their self-opinionated belief of them self-sabotaged them. They didn't care about their body. They didn't know about their mind. Everything became just a pattern of bad behavior. These patterns of bad behavior can be assisted by demonic influences, which condition the person to believe that what they're doing is okay when it's not okay, that what they're doing won't harm them when it is harming them. In the relationship realm, that they can abuse the relationship, but they can't. That they can abuse people covertly and get away with it, but they don't. And that then the money's not important. Come here. Hank. Here. Here. Hey. Here. They think it's not important, but it is. And they end up alone, angry, bitter, twisted, sad, upset people. Don't. Hey. And this goes on for their life until they die. The bitterness and the sadness, the inability to find the answers plagues them. They slowly start to pass away, and eventually they do pass away. And it's all too late then. They leave a legacy of misguided living behind them. Even at the grave, even on their deathbed, some of these people grandiose themselves so badly that they think they were the answer to people's problems, but they weren't. Stop. They weren't. They were just deceived, demonized, destructive individuals that could function, but not function at their full capacity. They functioned at a limited capacity. And it was this limitedness that sabotaged them. People won't tolerate people that are limited in their capabilities, that are sabotaging their capabilities. And so they lose opportunities, they lose relationships, they lose love, they lose their integrity. People just give up on them. You know, when you warn somebody about not abusing themselves and they continue to abuse themselves, people aren't going to tolerate that for very long. I know I couldn't, and I know I've seen many people that have been on drugs and things and abusing people because of that lose their jobs over and over and over. You see it all the time. They fall out with family members, they blame family members for their problems. But it's their silly self, nobody else. And they just chose to continue down that path. Now, we can make excuses for these people, but don't, because you're better off away from them. Don't try and rationalize it. Don't try and make reason for it, because they'll have all their excuses. That's how they get by. They got excuses for this, they got excuses for that. They misrepresent God in terms of they don't even know who he is or what he's about. Yet they have people that are Christians who believe in their families. They just couldn't work all that out. They couldn't work themselves out. They couldn't work life out. And they just go to the grave. Oh yes, they loved their children and they loved everybody else, but at the same time, they really didn't do them any good, because the representation of themselves, the way they treated themselves, was misguided. And so they grandiose themselves through their children. But that's not the children's job. The children's job is to become adults. In most cases, a lot of these children do turn out dysfunctional if they haven't black sheeped themselves and gone, this parent of mine's absolutely off the rails, which is happening more and more now. and you need to remove yourself from these scarred, horrible people.